Hi everyone, I'm Lizzie and welcome to The Vault, where I've created guides, stories and challenges for The Sims 3 and 4 just for you. This is the first part in The Sims 3 World Adventures Tomb Walkthrough series, starting with the Halls of the Lost Army in Shang Simla, China. And this is Shelly, and she'll be taking us on all of her adventures. If you haven't travelled in The Sims 3 before, just click on your Sims phone and select travel to bring up this board. You can choose your Sims destination, so in this case we're off to China, and when you have more visa levels you can adjust the duration of your stay. If you have more than one Sim in the household, you can also pick who's going and who's staying home. There are also lifetime happiness rewards that allow you to travel for cheaper and stay longer in destinations, so be sure to grab those if your Sim is travelling a lot. China is one of my favourite worlds in The Sims 3 because it is just so beautiful. It's the home of the martial arts skill as well as some seriously complicated tombs, which we will get to. When your Sim reaches visa level 3, they can purchase a holiday home, so even though they can't live here permanently, they can create a home away from home. But until then, your Sim will be staying at this base camp. So go ahead and select the message board and check for adventures. Seeking Adventure is for the Halls of the Lost Army and is often the first one you'll get on your first trip to China. All you'll need to do first is to speak to the person who put the ad out. So when you report in, you'll receive some visa points and be told that you need to retrieve an ancient relic from the tomb. Your Sim will be given the keystone as well to enter the tomb. And when you're on an adventure, the map will show a yellow star icon, basically to indicate who or where you need to go to next. So in this case, it shows the tomb entrance, which is in the Halls of the Lost Army at the very heart of Shang Simla. So just send your Sim over to there and then we'll get into the tomb. To open the tomb, your Sim will need to stand on the floor switch to reveal a staircase. Once they've travelled down into the tomb, they can read the plaque that offers some advice, basically to keep food in a tent on you at all times, and then insert the keystone into the panel that will unlock the door and let you into the tomb. In the next room, your Sim can collect some ancient coins. Tombs are a bit like a puzzle, so the first step is to pull the statue onto the floor tile with the cog symbol. If you hover over the statue, the yellow arrows will indicate which ways the statue can be pushed or pulled. By selecting pull far, your Sim will just keep going until they reach a switch or run out of room. Once unlocked, your Sim can go through to the next room. Like the first room, Shelly needs to push the statue onto the floor tile with the cog. This turns the other floor tile into a switch she can stand on to unlock the door, and then go through into the next room. This room is a little more complicated now we are deeper into the tomb. The electric trap is not something Shelly can contend with, but if she pushes the statue onto it, it will disarm it. She'll need to push it a bit further to make room to get past it. At this point, there is a hole in the wall on the left-hand side which will unlock the door, but if you're interested in treasure, you'll want to clear the rubble pile first. Shelly will get faster at this once her handiness and athletic skills build, but first it'll take her a few minutes. Once she's cleared it, she can stand on the floor switch underneath and that will reveal a room behind her. In this room, it's just a case of moving the statues to get to the chests and collect the treasure. Dried food is really useful in tombs because it never goes off and your Sim can end up in some tombs for a really long time. For the sake of this walkthrough, I cheated to keep her knees full and stop them from decaying, but if you're doing it without cheats, make sure to carry that tent, shower in a can and food, which you can get from the general store at the market in any world. Now she's collected the treasure, she can go back and inspect the hole in the wall to unlock the door. Because she's brave, the insects crawling on her don't bother her, but any other Sim would freak out, which can be quite funny. So this next room introduces another fun element of the tombs, which are dive wells. So as you can see, the door has a keystone panel again, which we don't have the keystone for. So with a little bit more finesse than that, your Sim will need to explore the dive well and swim through the tunnel, which will take you to another room entirely. In that room, there'll be a chest which will contain the keystone. So if Shelly just climbs out of the dive well, opens the chest and takes the star keystone from the chest and then goes back to the dive well, she can explore it again and swim back through the tunnel she came through, which will take her back to the beginning. Then she can just put the star keystone into the panel and unlock the door to the final room. And we completed the tomb. The blue and green lights indicate what it is your sim has been sent to find, so Shelly can just retrieve the ancient relic from the chest. Most of the tombs also have an assigned relic. In China, they're called the Chinese symbols, and here you can collect the Chinese symbol of the Halls of the Lost Army. If your sim has a lifetime wish Great Explorer and wants to complete several tombs, you'll want to look out for the prompt that tells them they've actually completed it. Sometimes what looks like the final room isn't the real final room. So Shelly can now just stand on the floor switch and make her way back to the person who put the ad out. And that's the tomb done. Well done, you've completed the first tomb, so now we just need to go and get our rewards. Now Shelly has completed the tomb and returned the relic, she has earned some cash as well as enough visa points to reach visa level 1. This means she can stay for longer on future trips and will be able to do some harder tombs. Time to get back to base camp and see which tomb is next. I hope you enjoyed this first walkthrough, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you really soon.